There was this story in the New York Post the other day about how Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are going to have no role when Prince William becomes king, and he's already planning this.
I'm ignoring this. It will be your titles are stripped, you are gone, you are banished. He doesn't even want Harry with.
It's Harry, Meghan, Archie, and Lily too. And he wants his father to be tougher. I think that has to happen.
They warned her not to play chess with the crown, but Meghan Markle thought she had the best piece. Turns out, she was just another small piece in William's game. And when the future king decided to make his move, everything changed. Parliament agreed, and Meghan's whole empire fell apart in
real royals who we love. And my audience knows, even if I don't get the names right all the time, or I don't say the perfect thing, I have such reverence for the monarchy, and I love the queen, and I love everyone. So forgive me if I don't.
Let's talk about what's really happening inside Buckingham Palace, because this isn't just another news story. It's a slow power change that's been building for months, and now things are getting really heated. Meghan Markle didn't see it coming, but people inside the palace say this was always going to happen.
They are not going to have roles. He's just not mentioning them at all. There's just a moratorium on them. Tell me what you think is going to happen when Prince William ascends and takes the throne.
Oh no, it will be active.
It's the tension that happens when two kings, one ruling now, one ruling soon, no longer agree. King Charles believes in talking things out. Prince...
While we've never heard it's a death sentence, certainly a cancer diagnosis really puts things in perspective for a life. And it's so cruel because, he's only been...
For years, Charles has tried to keep the family together by being patient and having private talks. He's known for his long letters, gentle phone calls, and endless attempts at peace. But William thinks that approach is exactly what's making the crown weaker. Every time Charles forgives them, there's another scandal, another documentary, another book dragging the family name through the news worldwide.
His coronation. I mean, that is extraordinary. That shows you how far things have fallen. I don't think there is a way back. I really don't.
One palace insider said it simply. Charles believes in tea and talks. William believes in lawyers and rules. That difference has now become a split. Reports say one private meeting between father and son got tense enough for Charles to say. William's response was,
his beloved late mother's reign was, just unforgettable. And he really hasn't even had a chance to make his mark. Not only that, by all accounts.
That line hurt deeply. It wasn't said with anger. It was said with determination. William isn't interested in fixing fences anymore. He's focused on building walls. Where his father sees family, he sees weakness. Where Charles sees kindness, William sees danger. People closest to the palace say William has decided it's time. To protect the institution, even if it means cutting family members off, he isn't just preparing to become king. He's already shaping what the crown will look like, and the first rule of his reign seems clear. Behind those palace doors, the prince and king may share blood, but their ideas for the future couldn't be more...
Not someone you want to mess with. He's not someone you want to cross. And I'm not saying that he's...
William's next move wasn't emotional. It was planned. He didn't just want to stop the chaos. He wanted to design a system that could never be shaken again. That's where his team of legal and royal advisors came in. Insiders say William's circle, a mix of royal planners, historians, and legal experts, has been quietly working on what they call parliamentary alignment. The plan. To give the next king the power to decide who counts as royal. No parliament vote, no debates, no media circus. Just one royal order. Translation. When William becomes king, he alone can decide who's in and who's out. No middlemen, no government help. Complete power, and guess who sits right at the center of that plan? Meghan and Harry.
The thing that's been most astonishing for me over the past couple of weeks is that Prince Harry is so deluded that he genuinely believes that he can raise his two children, Archie and Lilibet.
Sources close to the palace say this isn't about revenge. It's about protecting the crown's image. In William's eyes, the monarchy has been stretched too thin. Its meaning has been weakened by those who walked away but still make money from royal fame. He reportedly told helpers the crown must be exclusive to survive. To him, the future monarchy should be clean, professional, and disciplined. Not emotional, not overcrowded, and definitely not Hollywood. It's a reset button disguised as reform. A modern monarchy that's not about family drama, but about purpose. And once that plan becomes law, the line between royal and former royal won't just be symbolic, it'll be permanent. Every great power move has a hidden tool, and in this case, it's called letters patent. It sounds harmless, almost old-fashioned, but in the royal world, it's the most powerful legal weapon the crown has. For centuries, it's been the document that decides who gets to be royal and who doesn't. One signature, one seal, and titles disappear like smoke.
As possible. And that's certainly a possibility. I mean, if I were them, I would grow up and
The last major change was in 1917, when King George V got fed up with too many royals. Too many princes, too many princesses, too much confusion. So he cut the list short and said that only the king's direct grandchildren could hold titles. That's the same rule that gave Archie and Lilibet their titles when Charles became king. But here's the twist. That rule isn't set in stone. It can be changed anytime. And palace insiders say William's legal team already has a new version sitting in a Kensington Palace vault. The proposed update is harsh in its simplicity. Only working royals and direct heirs keep their titles. Anyone who lives abroad or steps away from royal duties, titles, gone. No debate, no appeal. It's cold, quiet, and completely legal. Once signed, it doesn't just change names. It reshapes who's important in the royal family. It's the kind of move that wouldn't cause an explosion, but an earthquake. And when that ink dries, Meghan's entire identity after being royal, built on the word Duchess, starts to break.
will be given is that he wants to slim down the monarchy. But really, this is a lot about personal vengeance. His hatred.
Picture this. One moment, she's the Duchess of Sussex. The next, she's just Meghan Markle. For most people, that's just a name. For Meghan, it's her entire brand. Her public image, her speaking fees, her luxury deals all circle around that royal title. It's her golden label. Without it, the shine starts to fade. Insiders say the thought of losing it has caused quiet panic across her team. Because in the business world, how people see you equals profit. The Duchess opens doors that Meghan Markle alone might not. Without that word, her brand loses its power. And the cruel part? There's no courtroom drama, no loud fight, just a silent legal signature that changes everything. The moment that document is sealed, it's official. There's no appeal, no taking it back. That's how the crown moves. Quietly, carefully, with centuries of law behind it. For Meghan, the damage could be huge. Invitations slow down, partnerships cool off. The magic of royalty fades, leaving behind only celebrity. And celebrity, unlike monarch,
do quite a lot of royal work because Charles was obviously off the stage. So I don't think he's going to forgive Harry. You never know what's going to happen, but like in terms of the marriage, but
the woman who once stood at the center of global attention could suddenly find herself on the outside, looking in. Not because she was defeated in battle, but because the game changed and she wasn't holding the rulebook anymore. This wasn't just a royal rumor, it was a calculated plan. William wasn't acting on impulse or anger. He was studying what worked before. And the perfect example came from Denmark. When Queen Margrethe II stripped 4 of her grandchildren of their titles, it sent shockwaves across Europe. But she didn't do it out of meanness. She did it for clarity. Her words still echo through royal circles. Clarity, not cruelty. That decision caught William's attention like lightning. According to royal insiders, he followed the Danish headlines closely. Watched how Margrethe handled the anger, how she delivered the news with grace but firmness. The anger faded, but the respect remained. William reportedly saw a message in that monarchy survives not by pleasing people, but by changing before it collapses. Behind closed doors, he began to sketch out his own version of that royal plan. Sources say he even asked helpers to gather reports on how other European monarchies have made their structures smaller. The goal? A monarchy that's modern, believable, and untouchable. He wants a monarchy that's lean and real, one insider said. No extras, no actors, no confusion.
But they left 5 years ago. And I imagine Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's kids are going to Google themselves someday, maybe when they get into middle school or high school, and they're going to go, oh shit, we're royalty? You didn't tell us?
And that's when the quiet phone calls began. Legal experts in Brussels, royal advisors in Copenhagen, even a few secret meetings with history experts. This wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about reform, about reshaping the royal system for survival in the 21st century. If Denmark could do it and still keep dignity, why couldn't Britain? William wasn't just watching a European strategy. He was drawing up his own. Meanwhile, the whispers reached California, and they hit like thunder. Meghan's team started hearing terms like parliamentary alignment, title reform, and letters patent review. Those weren't gossip words. Those were legal warnings. And in royal language, that's war.
I'm not going to bore you with all of the details about the security case, right? But just trust me, there is no reason for Harry not to bring the children to the United Kingdom. He is throwing the almighty strop, and it's just pathetic.
It's so pathetic.
Inside Montecito, phones rang nonstop. PR reps, lawyers, branding experts, everyone was asking the same question. What happens if the Duchess title disappears? Because that single word, Duchess, wasn't just ceremonial. It was her brand identity, her passport into elite circles, her power in billion-dollar deals.
Without it, the empire...
Without it, everything loses its sparkle. Meghan Markle, the global figure, becomes Meghan Markle, the celebrity. And that's a totally different market. In Hollywood, titles equal trust. They open doors, sell interviews, and get sponsorships. Without Duchess, Meghan's brand looks less royal and more reality TV. The panic spread fast. We built her around that name. One insider allegedly said, "Take it away, and what's left?" Suddenly, crisis meetings stretched into midnight hours. Legal teams searched for ways around it. PR agents wrote statements that would never be used, and Meghan's inner circle began to realize the truth. The monarchy could outsmart them from thousands of miles away. This wasn't just a royal fight anymore. It was a shift in power, one that could flip an empire built on image into nothing.
Many years. And you're so right to say that actually his life is complete.
The mood inside Meghan's mansion turned frantic. Every corner buzzed with calls, meetings, and whispered arguments. Her advisors thought of ways to save what the palace was quietly erasing. Someone even suggested the unthinkable trademarking Duchess of Sussex as a last name. Crazy, maybe, but desperation makes people creative. They believed if they couldn't own the title officially, they could own it legally, make it theirs through branding, not birthright. A bold plan, but not bold enough. The palace saw it coming. Before Meghan's team could even file, royal lawyers moved fast. They quietly changed trademark protections, blocking any future business use of royal titles. No public statements, no press leaks, just a sudden legal wall. The applications hit that wall, and it had the crown's symbol on it. They played chess. A source close to the situation said, and Meghan's team brought checkers. By the time they realized what happened, it was too late. The monarchy had taken back its property, its history, its image, and its names. Meghan's team had been outsmarted in a game they didn't even know had started. And the message was crystal clear. The crown takes back what belongs to it.
The head of a state, and he has responsibilities and duties that could collide.
Here's where it gets politically smart. The monarchy doesn't act without protection, and Parliament gave it exactly that. Insiders say the palace quietly worked with legal experts to line up their legal changes with existing Parliament powers. Every move, every rule, every silence had to hold up in court if challenged. Basically, they built a legal fortress, a centuries-old system of government now quietly backing William's modern reform. There would be no lawsuits, no loopholes, and no messy debates about royal favoritism. This was airtight, and Parliament didn't object. In fact, it supported the change under the idea of modernization. Lawmakers knew this wasn't about personal fights. It was about the monarchy staying relevant, responsible, and
case of the Prince of Wales. So thank heaven for that, because what we all want, I imagine, is what King Charles wants.
The result? Every legal path Meghan might have used suddenly closed. The royal titles, the branding rights, the connections, all sealed within British law. Meghan's PR team could spin stories all